Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Pertama saya nak ucapkan terima kasih kepada semua staf UUM dan mungkin ada juga daripada universiti lain ya. Kita ada war-warkan juga program kita pada pagi ini di dalam grup ITMA dan juga di seluruh IPTA ya. Jadi alhamdulillah pada pagi ini kita ada seperti biasa kita ada ICC Talk Series iaitu bertajuk Innovating the Creation of Digital Content, the Do and the Don'ts. Okey, jadi kita amat terima kasih kepada Dr. Nurbiha Syukur, Timbalan Pengarah Teaching and Learning Center of Academic Leadership UTM Lead UTM ya. Kerana sama-sama kita pada pagi ini untuk berkongsi kepakaran beliau tentang bagaimana untuk menghasilkan suatu konten digital yang boleh dikatakan sebagai inilah tidak menyalahi undang-undang dari segi uh, di mana tempat yang kita boleh ambil secara orang kata apa royalty free. So apa jenis-jenis license yang ada dan sebagainya. Jadi untuk pengetahuan semua, Dr. Nurbiha juga adalah pengurusi Chair for Malaysian Public University E-Learning Council (MEPTA). Ya. So sebenarnya saya ada melihat talk Dr. Nurbiha sebenarnya last year, especially bila kita start PKP last year tu, ada Dr. Nurbiha ada bagi training lah, antara orang yang terawal lah bagi training pada waktu tu ya. Bila saya dapati bahawa talk ini sangat baik kepada UUM sebab kita banyak menghasilkan konten ya. Tapi kita tidak tahu di mana tempat yang yang sesuai untuk kita ambil gambar. Kita lebih kepada just copy paste je lah gambar from Google and just paste and just create our own digital media ataupun sound ataupun video ataupun YouTube content that actually uh, can have a risk lah or liability to the university where those materials are not royalty free, okay, or maybe it's commercialized license. Without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Nurbiha Syukur to deliver his talk for today. So I hope everybody will enjoy and maybe have question. Will be afterward you can ask question to Dr. Nurbiha. So Dr. Nurbiha, over to you. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, UUM, for having me here today. We maybe a little bit introduction about the courses that we conducted on creating digital content ni at my university. We make it compulsory for all the new lecturers to go through the course on where can you find resources that doesn't infringe any copyrights or intellectual properties, things like that. We will make it compulsory. So this is like my every year we have like maybe 3 to 5 the repetition of the same course. So I hope I can share with all of you today. It's a little bit different than ada sikit je perbezaan than how I usually carry this out. Okay, but I hope this will be beneficial for all of you. So the first thing that I want to show today is I want you to look at the CC like the logo kat bawah ni. The logo at the bottom of my slide, dia tulis kat sini CC, lepas tu dia ada tulis small here, we have BY and CSA. So we are going to learn about the CC, BY and CSA later in this presentation. Okay, so what I hope to cover at the end of this workshop is that I hope you can differentiate later on between open source, common creative license and copyrighted digital content, and how can you use the correct digital content using searching techniques. So where can you look for the open source, the common creative license and the copyrighted digital content. Copyrighted digital content is not so hard to find, but open source and common creative license, you might want to know what are the repositories yang kita boleh cari kita punya digital content. Okay, so I'm going to talk first about what is digital content and how can we reuse digital content and where can you find them, and if you want to use them, how can you give attribution to that digital content, and how can you evaluate whether a certain digital content has a good quality, or is it not, or is it accessible to my students, things like that. Okay, so we go first to what is digital content. So digital content ni, it can be in the form of data, kalau macam database, that is also digital content, or information in digital format. So biasanya we have analog as well as digital. Kalau analog ni contoh our handwriting lah, kita tulis tu adalah analog lah. But then when we scan our handwriting, dia jadilah digital. Okay, so the digital can be in the form of text, dia boleh dalam bentuk audio, can be in the form of video, can be in the form of animation, or also images. So these are the forms of digital content, and you can find all of this form of digital content over the internet. Okay, so now all of this digital content is accessible to anyone lah. Okay, kalau dulu macam susah sikit lah kita nak dapatkan, especially macam video punya digital content. Okay, but nowadays it is within one click now to have a digital content. But it's a matter of how you take that digital content, how are you going to use it. To use that digital content is the thing that we want to discuss later in detail. I will also share with you how can you curate or create your own digital content, but I'm not going to go through the hands-on punya session lah. I'm just going to share with you what are the applications that you can use to create your own digital content. Okay, now let me just ask you one question. How do you usually obtain your digital content? Contohlah gambar. So what technique do you use and where do you find them? Can you just please write that on the chat box? Where do you get your digital content? Kalau macam nak ambil video ke, kat mana cari? Kat mana cari satu? Lepas tu macam mana ambil tu? Kaedah mengambil tu. Can you just put that on the chat box? Maybe I give about 1 minute to do that. Let's see what we have. We have YouTube, we have Google, okay. Canva, yeah. Okay, other than where do you get them? How do you get them? What do? You you right click save as ke? Macam mana? Gambar-gambar dekat Google tu. Crop. Okay, this is the first time saya dengar kita ambil gambar daripada Google tu, kita crop. Okay. Screenshot. Okay. Copy paste. Okay. Guna save image as. Okay. Right click save image as. Kita search Google. Right click save image as. Okay. Boleh juga. Okay. Yang advance pakai royalty free music. That is good. Okay. Use stock photos on pixels. Good. Okay. So I see most of you have some idea bahawa kita cari image yang copyright free. Okay. But that is good that you know. And then but I also want to focus on kalau yang kita biasanya cari right click save as ni. Okay. So right click save as image ni our default assumption to all the materials all over the internet, kita punya default assumption adalah walaupun dia tak ada logo, although they don't come with the copyright, the C logo, our default assumption is that they are copyrighted. Okay, so walaupun kita kata macam you kan dah letak kat situ, bukankah itu maksudnya it is shareable to all? Memang it is shareable to all. Itu tak bermaksud bahawa you can take my materials, you boleh copy save image as without my permission. Okay, so that's the difference. So whatever we found over the internet, unless it is stated that it is not public domain, we have to assume that all of these materials are copyrighted. Okay, that is the most important mindset that we need to have. Kita nak copy paste ke, kita nak share link ke, even sharing link, kalau dekat dalam YouTube, dia sebenarnya ada differentiate, they did differentiate which of the materials are you can share that for any purposes, ataupun you have to ask for my permission if you want to share this. Ada juga yang macam tu. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is it has to be the default assumption is all of the materials over the internet adalah copyrighted. Jadi kalau selama ni kita save image as, right click save image as, and then take that images, that is not the correct way of using that. If you're using free stock photos such as Pexel, that is great. And later on, I will show you many other repositories to get free images. Okay. Now, the next question. Is it true that nothing is free in this world? Okay. So the thing is that when I said just now, all of the materials yang yang ada dekat internet ni, dia adalah copyrighted. Okay, bila dia copyrighted, maksudnya adalah when you want to use them, we have to ask for their permission. Okay, kalau ingat tadi, logo CC dekat slide saya tadi, Common Creative License tu, it is different than copyrighted, logo C, satu C sahaja, in the sense that when you want to use my material for whatever purposes, you don't have to ask for my permission. Itu beza dia antara C dengan copyright dengan common creative. So and usually benda yang common creative ni dia adalah free lah, termasuklah juga public domain. So public domain materials are also free in this world. So somehow kita bolehlah kata ada juga benda yang percuma kat dunia ni. Okay, iaitu public domain materials that is free, yang kita tak payah bayar, and we don't even have to ask for the originators permission to take that material. Okay, so all of this initiative, giving education materials for free, is gazetted under Sustainable Development Goals, Quality Education SDG number 4. Okay, so what happened in SDG number 4 ni, dia is not only about quality education. Dia not simply our pledge to give quality education to all. So what we mean by quality education tu adalah sebenarnya kita nak ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and learning opportunities for all. Maksudnya, saya ada duit ke, saya tak ada duit ke, saya boleh belajar. So that is the aim of SDG for quality education. Saya ada duit ke, saya tak ada duit ke, saya boleh belajar. I have access to learning materials, to quality learning materials. That is what this SDG for quality education is aiming at. Okay, bukannya quality education to at level of institution level, no. Okay, so and Malaysia is one of the countries that pledged for 2012 punya Paris Open Educational Resources Declaration, dan kita antara country yang kita pledge bahawa we will contribute to the world in providing open educational resources. Yeah, that means maksudnya kita dekat level university ni hopefully should be kita ni menyumbang kepada pembangunan konten-konten yang berkualiti for teaching and learning purposes for free. Okay, that is our pledge. Okay, rather than most of the time kita hanya menggunakan bahan-bahan free ni, kita juga pledge untuk kita menyumbang balik semula. Okay, creating digital content. So that's why later on I will share with you how can you create digital content as well. Okay, now, so I just want to know, okay, some of you have some understanding about what is free stock photos, kat mana nak dapat copyright free. Okay, so can I evaluate further your understanding about this open educational resources? You can go to socrative.com and then you log in as student. Okay, dia tak ada nak kena login account ke apa, tak ada. You just log in as student, pilih login student, and then you write the room name DRN. Okay, can we have maybe 3 minutes of this activity? I just want to get your your understanding about open educational resources. So I'm going to guide through the question, okay, while you log into socrative.com. One. Okay. And we go to socrative.com. Then okay. So this will be the first question. I have 7 students answering. So this question asks, I want you to evaluate. Does this means that it is an open educational resources? So sharing your lecture notes in university e-learning system, you have your own university e-learning system. Does that mean you are producing open educational resources? We have about, how many of us? We have 74. Okay. Is it true or false? This is the link just now. You go to socrative.com and then saya jarang guna Kahoot because I think it is a little bit childlike. So I prefer socrative.com. So you just log in as student, log in and then you choose student and then you just put in your name. Okay, and then you can enter the room name DRN. Okay, so now sharing your lecture notes in university e-learning system. Most of you answered that as, okay, we have equal answers. Part of you says yes and part of you says no. Okay, now when you share your lecture notes in your university e-learning system, okay, lecture notes yang kita share itu adalah tertutup kepada, is very close to our own registered students only. And when it is very close to our own students only, this means that orang luar, somebody else yang luar out of our university e-learning system cannot have access to our lecture notes. So this means that sharing your lecture notes in university e-learning system is not an OER. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The following means that it is an open educational resources. I allow access to my teaching materials via a given password. Is that an OER or not? So I'm going to, yeah. Thank you, Cik Azri, for putting the instruction. So is this an OER or not? You allow your access to your teaching materials via a given password. Is it an OER? Does that mean your teaching material is an OER? Okay, let's see. So most of you said no, it is not an OER. So this is somehow true, but in certain places, kadang-kadang macam dekat, if you go to Flickr, for example, if you want to download the slides, memang tak perlu login pun, okay? kalau ada certain places, in certain places you have to somehow provide login access. Bila you kena sign up, bila you kena login, itu maksudnya you have protected that with a certain password, but not certain password to your exactly teaching material. Sistem tempat kita share teaching materials tu yang require password. So the answer to this, kalau accurately, that will be false. Okay, so this is correct. Bila kita allow access to teaching materials via a given password, this is not entirely open lah kita punya teaching materials itu. Okay. Now, the next question. People can do whatever they want with your teaching material. Does that mean your teaching material is OER? Macam you buatlah apa-apa yang you nak buat dengan kita punya teaching material. So does that mean your teaching material is OER? Is it true or false? Okay. People can do whatever they want with your teaching material. Does that mean your teaching material is OER or not? That is the question. If it is yes, it is OER, you put that as true. If it is no, then you put that as false. Okay. Let us see. So when you allow anyone to do whatever they want with your teaching material, that means your teaching material is an open educational resources. That would be true. Okay. All right. We move on to the next question. You can use my teaching materials, but attribution is necessary. Okay, attribution means that you have to give some credit lah to my material when you want to use my material. Does that mean my teaching materials is OER? Is it true or false? Okay. We tell to someone that when you want to use our teaching material, they have to give credit to us. Does that mean our teaching material is OER or not? Let us see the result. Now, in some cases, we tell someone to say that, okay, you can use my teaching materials, tapi bagilah credit sikit. In the sense that you write my name, this material is produced by Nurbiha at UTM. Okay, so that doesn't mean that my material is not open. Okay, I just need someone to give credit, to give attribution to my material, but my material is still open educational resources. So the answer is true. Okay, so when we ask people to give credit in the form of writing our name, our OER is still an open educational resources. The next one. Using my teaching materials requires my permission. Does this mean that my teaching material is OER? Okay, someone comes to me and say that I share my stuff on my website, or maybe on Flickr or something, on Script ke, okay, and then I tell them, if you want to use my teaching materials, you have please contact me for if you want to use my teaching materials. Does that mean my teaching material is an open educational resources or not? Okay, half of us is answering. Okay, let's look at the answer. So if you tell people that they need your permission before they want to use your OER, that means your teaching material is not an OER, it is a copyrighted teaching material, because whatever they want to do, they have to ask you first. Okay, so it is not an OER. So the false is the correct answer. Okay, we have another 3 questions. So my teaching materials are copyrighted. I think this is very direct. When my teaching materials are copyrighted, does that mean my teaching material is OER? Ni kalau ada yang tak betul juga jawapannya. Okay. If your teaching materials are copyrighted, does that also mean that your teaching material is open educational resources? Ada logo C dekat your teaching material. Okay. Does that mean your teaching material is copyright is OER? Ada juga. Okay, the answer is obviously false, right? If your teaching materials are copyrighted, they are not open educational resources. Okay, so when your teaching materials comes with the C logo ataupun tak ada C logo tapi you tak declare dia sebagai OER, you tak declare dia sebagai common creative, that means your teaching material is not an OER. Okay, so the answer is false. Copyrighted materials are not OER. The next one, my teaching materials are protected by Common Creative License. Does that mean my teaching materials are OER? We will go through this Common Creative License later on. Okay, Common Creative License dia datang logo CC. Dia tak datang logo C. C is for copyright punya logo. Common Creative License ada logo CC. Kalau if your teaching materials ada logo CC, does that mean your teaching material is an OER? Kalau tak ada logo apa-apa, what does that mean? Tadi saya kata, kalau material kita tak ada logo apa-apa, ataupun material orang lain lah tak ada logo apa-apa, kita punya default assumption adalah logo itu ada, material itu ada copyright. You have to put that in mind. Okay? Unless stated otherwise. Kalau tak ada logo apa-apa, kita kena assume itu adalah bahan copyrighted lah. Okay. So yes, okay, good. Now, if your teaching materials are protected by Common Creative License, that can also mean that your teaching materials are OER. Okay, so the answer is true. If your material datang dengan logo CC, that means your material is an OER. Okay, the last question. The following means that it is an open educational resources. Videos and images that I draw or produce for OER. Bolehkah, adakah kalau OER ini dia including videos and images? Kalau videos and images itu pun dikategorikan sebagai OER. Is it true or not? Okay. Adakah OER ini is meant for only text ataupun itu nama dia, animation ke, software ke? Is videos and images be categorized as OER as well? Okay. So let's see the results. The answer is true. Okay. All of the digital content, the forms of digital content that I briefly described just now, whether we have text, we have videos, we have images, we have animation, even software, can be OER. OER ni not necessarily for macam articles ke ataupun text ke ataupun slides ke, not necessarily that. It can covers also videos, images, audio, animation, software. Okay, now thank you everyone for your participation. Let me continue to my presentation. Sorry, hold on, where was it? Okay, now, so when we talk about open just now, okay, bila kita kata benda ni terbuka tu maksudnya apa? Okay, biasanya kita akan kata terbuka tu adalah percuma lah kan, terbuka. Okay, it is open. And usually when a material is open, it also means it is not blocked. Kata terbuka kan, mestilah tak ada halangan macam tu. Okay, and it is supposed to be accessible. You said it is open, it is terbuka kan. Okay, supposedly anyone can have access to that material. And then you kata terbuka, so bolehlah I copy and paste. Yes, if it is open, okay, we have to allow people to copy and paste our material when we say that our material is open. Okay, and of course it is exposed. Anybody can look at it, anybody can have access to it again. Okay, and it is unlocked. Kata terbuka kan. Kalau you bagi nak access you punya material, lepas tu ada apa tu, bila kita nak access a certain material tu ada password lah. Lepas password kena kena sign up, kena password. Lepas bila nak download ada another lagi restriction. So that is not entirely open. Okay, and it is supposed to be available anytime and anywhere if we say that this material is open. Now, tadi saya kata bahawa when we have a specific digital content yang we came across over the internet, dia tak ada logo C, dia tak ada logo CC, our default assumption adalah it is copyrighted. Okay, walaupun tak ada logo C. Now, if that material dia datang dengan logo CC, apa yang kita boleh buat dengan bahan-bahan, what can we do with the materials that comes with the logo CC? Okay, we can do 5 activities. Okay, we can do, that means we can do 5 activities. Number 1, we can retain that material. Maksudnya kita boleh keep, we can keep that to ourselves. Kita ambil, kita keep that to ourselves. We can reuse that material. Okay, kita okay, maybe initially we want to the first time we download, we want to use that for our class. Okay, the next time we download, or we also want to use that for our presentation somewhere else. Okay, so we can reuse that and we can revise that. Okay, if a material comes with the CC logo, you can revise that and say that, okay, this material is missing 1 or 2, 3 points, so I'm going to add some more points to this material. So you can do that. Okay, you can revise that material. You can remix that material if originally the material, the digital content that you download is in the form of in the form of images only. Now you want to say, I want to put these images in my PowerPoint presentation. So you can remix that. Okay, and you can redistribute that as well. Okay, bila you dah katakanlah you have remixed that, and then you say that, okay, I want to share again. Initially you download this digital content from let's say from Pexels, let's say, and then you want to redistribute that again to Pexels, or you want to redistribute that to other platform, you can do that. Okay, so with this CC logo, it means that you can do these 5 activities without having to ask for permission from the original author. Okay, kalau kita if that material is copyrighted, okay, we can do these 5 activities, of course, but we have to ask the permission from the original author whether they allow us to do these 5 activities, these 5R activities. Okay, so that is the major difference between and a digital content that comes with CC logo and digital content that comes with C logo or have no logo at all. Okay. So I hope that one is clear. Okay. So this is the description about the what can you use, what can you do with the CC license material. Okay. So you can do the 5R activities. Okay. And when we talk about the difference between common creative license and copyrighted license, as I said just now, if that material is a copyrighted material ataupun dia tak ada logo apa-apa, which kita kena assume dia adalah copyrighted material ni usually what happen is that it gives a legal right to the legal exclusive right to the owner of the copyright. Okay. And then for a number of years, if I'm not mistaken, after you die, another 50 years pun you can still have that copyright, and then you have the right untuk to print, to publish, and etc. And orang yang ada copyright ni adalah when somebody use that material without their consent, they have the authority dari segi undang-undang untuk sue lah orang yang mengambil bahan ni tanpa dia punya kebenaran. Okay, because they as a copyright owner, they have the legal right to do that. Okay, and this copyright is usually valid for until I said just now, until 50 years of our death. Kalau kita ada copyright, kita lepas 50 tahun kita meninggal, kita masih lagi pegang kita punya copyright, and then we can renew that. Okay, so copyright ni dia ada lifetime dia, and then kalau expired dia kita boleh renew lah kita punya copyright. And this is what happened to Pyramlis film. Okay, Pyramlis film, dia punya copyright dia is ending December 2020, tahun lepas. Okay, and then that is 50 years after his death. Okay, so dia no longer ada copyright terhadap dia punya filem. Okay, dia punya filem, owner copyright dia adalah kepada Shaw Brothers lah, of course, but Shaw Brothers ni akan bagi bahagian kepada waris-waris Pyramlis lah. So that is why recently kita tengok there are many TV station yang ulang-ulang cerita Pyramlis ni. Sebab it is now becoming a public domain. Bila jadi public domain, hak awam, bukan hak awam, dia adalah domain awam lah, menjadi domain awam. Maksudnya anyone can use that material without having asking for consent dan sebagainya, because it becomes public domain, becomes anyone can use it. Okay, so that is difference between copyrighted material dan juga public domain material, and of course common creative material. Okay, so that is one example that I can think of yang maybe ramai orang tahu lah about Pyramlis punya movie ni. Okay, now CC license ni bentuk dia macam mana? The one that I show you just now, ada satu je lah kan, CC-BY. So we can have a combination of 6 CC license. Okay, for every CC license ini, it carries different meaning. Number 1, katakanlah you come across a digital content yang ada logo CC-BY. Okay, when it comes with the logo CC-BY, it means that BY ni maksudnya you have to give attribution. Okay, when you want to take that material, you have to write again the name of the originator at the kat mana-mana lah, you have to indicate that anywhere, bahawa this original the author of this material adalah orang ni so and so. Okay, itu kalau CC-BY. Okay, kita pergi CC-BY SA ni nanti sekejap lagi. I'm going to explain CC-BY NC first. Now, if that material dia ada logo CC-BY NC, this means that you have to give attribution to that material and you cannot sell that material. Okay, don't be surprised. There are materials yang memang kita boleh jual pun. Okay, so but if it comes with CC-BY NC, this means that you have to give attribution to the material and you cannot sell that material. I will show you later on how can you give attribution. Okay, if it comes with CC-BY ND, okay, this means that kita pergi yang ni. If it comes with CC-BY ND, this means that you have to give attribution to that material and it is non-derivative. You cannot derive that into something else. Let's say the original form of digital content that you obtain from the internet, for example, adalah in the form of PNG image. PNG image. Lepas tu, when you want to take that, you want to derive that into a video, for example. You nak combine image tu nak masuk ke dalam video. So if that digital content comes with this logo, that means you cannot derive that into something else. Okay, original dia dalam bentuk image, you kongsi pun, you guna pun dalam bentuk image juga. You tak boleh guna dia dalam bentuk videos ke apa ke. Okay, so that is what it means when a material has CC BY and D license. Now when you have the CC BY and C and D, so this is obviously means that you have to give attribution to the original author, and you cannot sell it, and you cannot derive that into something else. Okay, and now we go back to CC BY SA. Now, si Ali, let me simulate a scenario. Ali downloaded one image, okay, from CT. Okay, CT yang provide, is the original provider of the image. So, Ali downloaded an image from CT. And CT ni dekat dia punya digital content, dia tulis kat situ logo dia, the logo that she indicated is CCBYSA. This means that whoever take CT's punya material, they have to give attribution to CT, and then they have to share alike. Share alike ni maksudnya adalah bila si Ali ni dia download dia punya material from CT, lepas tu dia nak share balik semula, dia tak boleh tiba-tiba pakai logo CCBYNC. They have to share again in the form of logo ni, kena guna logo yang sama, CCBYSA juga dekat material Ali. Because CT said that if you want to use my material, you have to share again, you have to share alike with this logo again. Okay, the same thing juga dengan CCBYNC SA. If CT punya material, dia punya logo dia, dekat material dia, dia kata this material is licensed under CCBYNC SA, tak boleh jual, and then you have to give attribution and it has to be shared alike. Si Ali ni bila dia nak ambil material ini, dia tak boleh pula bila Ali ni share balik semula material tu, dia tak boleh pula letak logo CCBYND. Because it has to, Ali has to use the same logo again dekat material yang Ali share, yang dia ambil originally daripada CT. Is that clear? About the CC license. But then you will tell me, maybe you will tell me, okay, so what's the use of having this 5R activity just now? Tadi kata boleh remix lah, boleh reuse lah, okay? Now that is the CC punya license ni, beza dia adalah when you want to do all these activities, you do not have to ask for the originator's permission. Itu beza dia, okay? However, there are certain originators yang memang tak nak bagi derive. Maybe with certain limitations lah. So dari segi remixing tu mungkin ada sedikit restriction kalau you come across CCBYND ini. Okay? So that means that you cannot derive that into something else. But if you, other than this, if you want to derive that into something else, you do not have to ask the permission from the originator. So this is what it means by CC license. You will come across many of these different licenses, and it comes with different meaning. Okay. Now, moving on. Now, what are the examples of open educational resources? Usually, kalau dalam bentuk OCW, if you ever heard of open courseware, itu adalah OER. Massive open online courses biasanya adalah OER, in the sense that you can share that, you can take that, you can download any of the notes, but you cannot sell it. Ada certain restriction on that. Okay, so this is an example of open courseware. We will share this one later. Okay, so usually materials that are gazetted with Common Creative License, dia akan tulis kat situ. Okay, ini contohnya. So this material you boleh download, tapi you cannot sell it, and then you have to give attribution to the original author, which is Muhammad Nur Hassan and Hasmeria Ma'aruf, and then you have to share alike. When you share again, you have to put this logo as well lah, on your material. Katakanlah you nak ambil nota ni, nak ambil sikit-sikit, nak letak kat dalam you punya nota sendiri. Okay, so you can do that. Tetapi you kena share that also ni lah dengan logo ni. Janganlah pula kita dah ambil nota-nota, dah campur nota orang lain dengan nota kita, lepas tu kita pula yang nak kena code. Okay, so you cannot do that. So because the original author of it says that you have to share alike. Okay. Now, one of the most popular site that you might come across adalah MIT OpenCourseware. Okay, kat Malaysia pun most of public universities dia akan create OpenCourseware ni. Now again, the reason for creation of OpenCourseware ni adalah in support of SDG number 4. Okay, kenapa sebenarnya universiti-universiti ni nak bagi konten diorang for free? Okay, so nanti maksudnya orang boleh, apa tu nama dia? Tak payah nak enroll kat dalam universiti pun dah boleh dapat nota-nota diorang ni. Okay, so this initiative is in support of SDG number 4 tadi, to provide quality education for all. Okay, so MIT OpenCourseware is one of the most earliest top universities who provided teaching and learning resources for free. So let us somehow let us visit that. Okay. Let us visit this website. Okay. MIT OCW. So this is the one. Free online course material dia kata. Okay. Okay, so this is the website. Untuk kita ambil, tengok scroll bawah sekali. Nampak tak logo bawah ni? CCBY and CSA. You can take any of the materials here, but you cannot sell that, and you have to share alike. Okay, so what materials are available here? You boleh cari kat find courses, katakanlah by topic. Okay, nak cari on energy for example. Okay, tengok kat sini, berderet-deret contoh dia. Okay, let's take one. Okay, so you view that one. Syllabus pun ada. Lecture notes pun ada. Boleh download PDF ni semua. Assignment pun dibagi. Boleh download ni semua. Exam punya question pun dia bagi with solution lagi. Download course material. Nak tekan satu download ni, satu button download ni, semua benda boleh download. Pun ada. Now, do I need to log in to download this one? Tak ada kan? Tak ada cerita saya kena login ke apa ke. Okay. So it is entirely open. So you can download this without asking the originator's consent. Download aja lah nota-nota ni. Okay. But you have to give attribution. You cannot sell it and you have to share alike. Itu syarat dia. Okay. So these resources are from MIT. In fact, sebenarnya I did come across certain courses ataupun certain materials yang dia ada video sekali. Video for video their video on them teaching pun ada juga. So there are so many that you can download. These are the resources, but you have to give credit, as I said just now. This is gazetted under CCBY, CCNC, CCBY, and CSA. Okay. Yang ni clear. So this is an example of apa tu nama dia? MIT OCW. Okay, we call it as OpenCourseware. So they share a lot of courses that is can be downloaded for free. Now, okay, let's go back to this one. So this is one of the examples, as I said. There are many other examples yang ada CCBY ni. Okay, Carnegie Mellon University, kat sini pun is a great place for you to get a repository of courses. This is a repository of courses that you can download. Dia punya teaching materials, dia punya videos, their quizzes, you can download here as well. They name it as Open Learning Initiative. Okay, so you can download that. You have to sign up, but when you want to download that, it doesn't restrict you. It doesn't require any password lah actually. But yang macam MIT OCW tadi, it is entirely open. There is not even need for you to sign in or sign up. okay, to download the material. Okay. And there are many other, actually, the universities form a consortium when they pledge for this 2012 punya Paris Declaration to provide quality education for all. They actually pledge, these universities pledge to provide free content, free quality content to everyone in the world. So these are some of the universities. There are 243 university members, including UTM. So kita bagi teaching and learning content for free. And of course, we as lecturers, we can download that materials for free. Okay. Now, ni kalau macam this local university, so this, you can also get any resources daripada Open Education Consortium ini. Dia ada senarai, if you want to browse through resources berdasarkan negara, you can go to this repository as well. Okay. Now, when you this is when we are looking at the perspective of we creating OER, bukannya kita pengguna OER tadi. Kalau kita we are the creators of OER, does that mean kita are giving away our intellectual property? This is actually not necessarily so. Actually, we did put some limit sebenarnya kepada kita punya materials. Only that when they want to use our material, they do not have to ask our permission. Tetapi this means that dia tak ada, dia memang kita in a way dia bukanlah intellectual property. When we declare our materials as common creative, kita tidak bound to any intellectual property. If we want to, let's say, kita nak saman someone sebab guna bahan kita, tanpa kita punya permission, kita tak boleh buat tu. Unless you have a copyright to that material, barulah you boleh saman menyaman ni lah. Okay, so this is very different between common creative license dengan copyrighted license. Now, so other than the overall repository that I shared just now, so digital content can be in the form of text, as I said, can be in the form of images, audio, videos, and multimedias. Okay, and other multimedia. So here, I share with you the open textbooks. So these textbooks are available for free, available for download. OpenStax College, contohnya saya selalu juga ambil daripada textbook daripada sini. So you can always download these textbooks and then you can always redistribute that. Kalau nak betulkan konten dalam textbooks, nak edit sikit pun boleh. Okay, so where can you get all these open textbooks? You can get from this repository. Okay, where can you get open source images? Okay, just now, some of you mentioned about Pexels. Okay, yes, correct. You can get open source images daripada Pexels. You can get them from Pixabay. You can get them from Wikimedia Commons. You can get them from Unsplash. Google Images, nanti saya akan tengok sikit macam mana kita nak cari Google Images yang open source. Tapi dia bukanlah copyrighted material. So somehow I would say Google Images, we can filter in Google Images untuk tengok mana satu images yang open source, mana satu images yang bukan open source. We will go through that in a bit. Okay. Videos and audios. Where can you get free videos, free audio? Okay. You can go to iTunes U, you can go to Han Academy, dekat YouTube pun boleh, tapi dekat YouTube you have to read, then you have to filter adakah that videos and audio is common creative license or not. Okay, dekat video dia, dekat YouTube dia ada tulis sebenarnya. Okay, if usually dia macam ni lah kalau material tu ada button download, itu maksudnya dia memang nak bagi kita download. Kalau material itu tak ada button download, itu maksudnya janganlah cuba-cuba find ways to download that because they don't allow you to download. Okay, so any materials yang memang open, dia memang akan ada button download untuk you all download. Okay, kalau dia memang tak nak bagi you all download, contohnya macam kat YouTube, ada tak button download YouTube videos? I think recently ada certain video ada yang ada button download lah, tapi most of the videos on YouTube dia tak ada button download, dia ada button share saja. That means that you can only share but you cannot download this material lah for your own purposes. Okay, so because the thing is that, contoh kan, kalau ada kedai makan anda kedai makan, lepas tu anda buka skrin besar, then you open the big screen, and then while people eat at your restaurant, they can watch movies dekat layar putih that you pasang. Okay, then that movies comes from YouTube punya videos. Okay, and then you generate some income. Okay, sebab orang datang, people come to your restaurant sebab sambil makan, sambil duduk TV dekat TV besar, kat layar besar. Okay, so actually that is wrong. Okay, you do not ask consent from the original video punya creator, and yet you generate income some more. You pasang dia punya video tu dekat YouTube tu untuk ramai-ramai tonton. So that is wrong. Okay, that's why although YouTube tu dia ada button share, tetapi dia punya scope untuk share tu is not meant for, it is meant for yourself only, not meant for massive public. Unless dia cakap kat situ CC license, you can do whatever you want with this video, you can reuse that for whatever purpose that you want. Do not have to ask for my consent. Macam tu. Okay, so kalau YouTube video tu dia tak ada tulis pun, dia adalah CC license, so you cannot buat cerita macam buka kedai mamak tadi, pasang layar besar dan buka YouTube. Okay, so you cannot do that, right? So that's the thing. If you ask me, apa bezanya kalau YouTube video tu dia ada CC license ke dengan tak ada CC license? Sebab we still can watch that, we still can share that one. Okay, but the reason, the purpose of you sharing, kalau dia tak ada CC license, is meant for yourself only. Okay, that's the thing. Alright, now and you can also get videos and audio from Wikimedia Commons. So we will go through that after this. And other OER resources, you can go to Creative Commons search tool. You can go to creativecommons.org. They also have, they also help you to filter mana dia akan crowdkan mana satu yang open images, mana satu yang ada CC license dan sebagainya. You can go to Creative Commons search tool as well. You can use Google OCW search as well. You can use Wiki Educator as well, and OpenCourseware, for example, macam saya kata tadi, OpenCourseware punya consortium, dia ada list university, you klik lah mana university yang you nak. Or you can go directly to MIT OpenCourseware punya website and then you can download that. Okay. Now, we go to the second part, which is searching for OER. Now, we go to the first part of searching images menggunakan Google Images. Okay. When you go to Google Images, okay, bila kita pergi kat Google Images, kita search for books. Okay, so these are the images that we found, the digital content that we found. Okay, so kalau amalan biasanya, kita klik kat situ, kita right click, gitu save image as. Ni somehow berdosa lah save image as. Okay, so how can we filter that? Okay, you go to tools, kat sini ada usage rights. You click on Creative Commons licenses. Now they filter the only common creative license punya images. Okay, if you see here, ada yang datang dari Flickr gambar tu, ada yang datang daripada Wikimedia Commons, ada yang datang daripada Pixabay, ada yang datang daripada Pexels, I think. So kat sini is a good way lah sebenarnya to search for images through Google Images, because they will browse through all the repository that we list on, and then kat sini. Tapi but we have to do this with caution. On kan yang tools ni common creative license, and then barulah you buka, you bolehlah save as image kat sini. Tapi biasanya I don't advise you to do that. Kalau you all save as image kat sini, dia punya resolution is quite low. Okay, so you have to go to the original tempat dia, click on that. Dia datang daripada Wikimedia Commons gambar ni. Nampak button download ni? Tekan download. And you can download that image in any resolution that you want. Nak full resolution, nak kecil, nak besar, nak tinggi, nak rendah. So you can do. Nah, macam mana bagi attribution dia kat sini? Dah bagi pesanan siap-siap. How can you give attribution to this image? Copy je ni. Macam tu. And then letakkanlah dekat gambar anda tu. Okay, at your presentation dia tak payah, dia tak suruh tulis font 80 pun nama attribution ni. Font 10 pun boleh, font 9 pun boleh. Yang penting kita bagi attribution. Okay, so you download that and then it will be downloaded. Now, tengok sini gambar ni, bila you scroll down a little bit, dia ada tulis di description. You are free to share, to remix under the following condition. You must give appropriate credit, provide a link to the license, and indicate if changes were made. You may do so in any reasonable manner, but not in any way that suggests the licensor endorses you or your use. Okay, so dia bagi kita copy, distribute, and transmit the work. Nak adapt the work boleh, tapi kena bagi attribution. So this is CCBY. Sebab dia tak ada limitkan kita kena share alike ke apa ke. So yang ini license dia adalah CCBY. So bolehlah download and then you just copy paste saja attribution tadi and then put that on your presentation. Okay. This is using Google search tadi saya kata. Okay. Now if you want to go to direct places macam contoh tadi katakanlah kawan kita tadi share about pixels. If you want to go to pixels, okay. Tulis kat sini pixels. Okay, kat sini you can also search for images. Okay, you can also search for illustration. You can also search for graphic. Okay, gambar yang sebenar, gambar yang tak berapa sebenar, yang illustration lah. So let's say books. Okay. Let's say this one. Okay, gambar ni. Okay, nampak dia ada button free download. Nak size apa. Okay, and then you click on download. Okay, tengok sikit bawah dia. Yeah, okay. This one yang ini is provided by Mail Balan. Okay, so you boleh download. And then nak tengok lesen kat mana. Okay, kat sini dia ada lesen dia. Okay, but this one dia letakkan license ni for all the images yang ada kat website ni lah. Okay, so this is, dia kata what is allowed, all photos are free to use, attribution pun tak payah bagi, giving credit pun tak payah bagi, but always appreciated. You can modify the photos and videos from pixels. Pendek cerita, buatlah apa-apa saya tak nak tahu. Macam tu. Okay, so all photos and videos from pixels are free to use. Okay, now kita tengok pula dekat Pixabay. Pixabay is another website yang allow kita download images and videos and music as well. So yang kat sini kita boleh filter siap-siap nak images ke, nak illustration ke. Katakanlah saya nak illustration and I want books. So dia akan bagi gambar yang tak berapa sebenar. Yang atas ni jangan, yang atas ni adalah paid sponsored iklan. Okay, so pergi bawah sikit. Okay, so yang bawah ni for example I nak gambar ni. I click on that. Okay, nampak license dia kat tepi ni, Pixabay license, free for commercial use, no attribution required. This means that gambar ni you nak jual pun I tak kisah, tak payah nak bagi kredit pun kepada Open Clip Art Vectors 27399, originator yang buat ni. Pun tak payah. Okay, so you can just download that one in any resolution that you want. Okay, so yang ini license dia tulis kat tepi. Pixels tadi license dia tulis dekat the front main page. This one Pixabay, they write that at the right hand side. Ini. Okay, free for commercial use. Okay, kalau yang ini free for commercial use, no attribution required, ini nama dia adalah CC0. Tadi kita jumpa CCBY, CCBYNC, CCBYND, okay, CCBYSA, tapi ni CC0. This means that this is public domain. This is not even gazetted under Common Creative, tapi dia adalah public domain. So yang ini you can even sell that. Okay. Alright. Okay. So tadi kita dah cover Google Images. Apa tadi? Pixels, Pixabay. Satu lagi tempat yang saya nak tunjuk adalah when we as teachers, we as lecturers, we sometimes need graphic or illustration that is very educational related. Macam nak cari graph ke, nak cari process diagram ke, certain things kan. So I would I always like to go to Wikimedia Commons. Dia bukan Wikipedia. Wikipedia is also an open source punya repository for sharing information. Tapi Wikimedia Commons ni adalah untuk kita cari multimedia. Okay, you go to Wikimedia Commons, Google je, and then you click on Wikimedia Commons here. Okay, dia ada images, ada sounds, ada videos. Okay, And if you want to contribute, lagi bagus, you upload your own material supaya orang lain boleh guna. Okay, now, so let's say I want to look for images. Okay, I boleh search sahaja kat sini. For example, I want to look for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Okay. Okay, ada macam-macam gambar photosynthesis yang ada kat sini. Okay, let's say, okay, let's say this one. Lain lah. Okay, now bila kita klik kat situ dia akan bagi summary of that. Okay, this is originator dia adalah Seekers, I don't know. Okay, dia punya license adalah Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike. So bila attribution share alike dia kena ada dia adalah CC BY SA. Sebab BY adalah untuk bagi attribution, share alike adalah SA. Okay, and then tengoklah dia punya details ni. Okay, fine. Lepas tu more details. Okay, sama juga kita boleh tekan download kat sini. Macam tu. Okay, you can take any resolution that you want and then you download. Okay, and then tengok lesen dia tadi, macam saya kata tadi, CCBY SA. Sebab dia kena ada share alike. You are free to share, to remix. Under the following condition, you have to give attribution and then you have to share alike. Nak kena share balik semula dalam, kena bagi logo CCBY SA juga. This is what it means. Okay, actually kan kalau some of you or any one of you yang pandai melukis pandai melukis lah pandai digital painting, I highly advise you to share your lukisan-lukisan yang academic like ni ke tempat-tempat yang macam ni. And in fact, lagi baik lagi adalah you share that dalam bahasa Melayu, contoh kadang-kadang. Because dekat tempat-tempat ni kadang-kadang some people they translatekan, because you can always remix that. Ada yang kadang-kadang macam ni, dia translatekan dalam Mandarin. Ada kadang-kadang gambar yang sama macam ni, di dalam, originally it is in English. Lepas tu dah macam-macam orang contribute, dia ada orang translatekan dalam bahasa Arab, ada orang translatekan, nampak? Ada orang, dia ada other version, nampak? Ada translatekan dalam bahasa Indonesia, dalam bahasa Arab, bahasa Russian maybe this one, dan sebagainya. Okay, so if you have that talent, menyumbanglah kepada, please menyumbang kepada this community of educational resources, because I think pahala dia berpanjangan lah. Okay, so people are using your material. Okay, they get benefit from your material and things like that. So you can just upload dekat tempat tadi. Okay, and of course ini pun searchable through Google Images lah sebab bila kita search Google tadi dia akan crowd juga, dia akan ambil juga daripada, dia akan crawl juga daripada Wikipedia Commons ni. Okay, so this is the place if you want to have a more macam educational like punya material lah, banyak kat sini. Okay, yang ada labeling and so on. Okay, that is images. Kalau kita pergi kepada YouTube lah. Okay, so we go to videos pula. Okay. Alright. Okay, so this is YouTube lah, bila kita search kan. Okay, bila kita search, katakanlah let's say for example I want to search for videos on 21st century learning. Okay, let's say yang ini. Okay, video ni which is ini advertisement lah Okay, video ni for example kita boleh pergi ke, you click to show more, and then nampak tak license dekat sini, Creative Commons Attribution License, reuse is allowed. So this means that memang dia ada button share. By default, semua video ada button share. Tapi ada video yang ada button share, tapi dia tak declare dia sebagai, they don't declare themselves, they don't declare the video as Common Creative License. Okay, that means that you can share, of course, but for your own use only. Bukanlah untuk guna untuk massive, untuk lepas tu you wawarkan pula, you buka kedai like I said just now. Okay, so it is not meant for that. But however, untuk video yang macam ni, it allows you to do that. Katakanlah you nak share video ni, buka kat kedai mamak. So this kind of video boleh dibuat. Boleh di share because it says here you are allowed to reuse my material. Okay, so that is the big difference antara video yang Common Creative License ni dengan video yang tak ada Common Creative License ni. Kalau contohnya yang lain, contohnya dia tak akan, kalau tak ada tu dia tak ada lah, tak ada cerita lah. Contoh, for example this one, sorry. For example this one, let's see. I don't think they have this one. If we show more, tak ada. Okay, so in fact dia nak, kalau nak, if you want that, you have to contact that person and things like that. So this is not a common creative punya video. Okay, compared to the ones that we had just now. Okay, this is YouTube videos. Okay, tapi in Wikimedia Commons, for example, kat sini pun you can search for videos as well. Okay, if you want, tengok kejap. Kalau kita nak cari sounds ke, videos ke, boleh juga kat sini. And then, okay, so boleh cari juga kat sini sebenarnya. Right? Tapi tak banyak yang menarik lah. Okay, not related to teaching and learning pun ada. Okay, right. So that is videos. How can you search for videos? Kalau dari segi notes tu, I think tak susah untuk you all cari. They always comes with the logo CC tu. Kalau I give you one example of where can you get articles, for example, you can always search yang open access kan. That means that you nak ambil, you nak download, you tak payah bayar, and then you can download that for your own use. Kalau macam Commonwealth of Learning, saya selalu guna yang ini, resources dia, dia ada open educational resources. Okay. No, this is, sorry, kita kena pergi kat resources. Kat sini, because I am from education, so I found this website is very useful. Kadang tak silap saya dia ada, directory, Yang ini pun ada, directory ni maksudnya list website yang provide open educational resources. This is also okay. Kalau macam higher education, dia listkan lah. Okay, dia listkan according to yang ini, contoh. Ni material-materialnya lah. Okay, so OER ni semua OER. Okay, so you can also go here for videos or for slides ataupun nota. Dekat sini pun boleh. Contoh. Yang ini adalah video. Okay, so you can also use this website to look for educational related materials yang open source. Kalau dia tak open source, kadang-kadang dia tulis kat situ Common Creative License, kadang-kadang dia tulis public domain. Okay, now that is clear, I hope. Okay, ada soalan tak for now? Ada soalan?
Okay, ada soalan.
Saya nak tanya doktor, biasanya kan untuk doktor cari bahan, terutamanya video, ada platform tempat favourite doktor tak?
Video saya selalu, kalau depends jugalah several places. Kalau macam saya cari video biasanya untuk saya upskill myself. Saya jarang cari video yang untuk sharing something content. Kalau macam share video macam ni tadi, dekat YouTube sebenarnya, as long as kita share, kita guna link share tu, dia tak ada masalah pun untuk kita share video. Kalau macam content related, biasanya saya video-video ni saya ambil daripada MIT OCW contohnya. Sebab MIT OCW tadi, dia kadang-kadang ada video. Dia kadang-kadang ada video ikut dia punya ni. Kena pandai carilah tapi. Dekat MIT OCW ni kadang-kadang dia ada video. So for teaching and learning, kalau I would like to upskill myself, I go to these places, I go to the topic that I want, and then I use that for my own punya upskilling lah. Kalau I want to use video for my macam ni kan, dia ada audio video lectures ni. kalau for my kalau saya nak cari video-video yang memang saya nak share dalam talk ke, dalam dalam any of my seminar ke, kita boleh guna sebenarnya, kita boleh guna yang ini. Kita boleh guna sharing of link daripada YouTube videos ni, tak ada masalah sebenarnya. If you want to share the link, share link, tak ada masalah. Okay. Yang what I said is wrong is that kita share kepada massive public, lepas tu we generate income from that as well. Itulah yang tak sesuai tu. Okay, so but usually untuk for teaching and learning, saya cari dekat MIT Open Courseware ni. Saya selalu cari. And kalau you all in STEM area, saya selalu juga cari dekat for simulation. Apalah nama dia tu. Lupa pula tiba-tiba. For simulation ada satu tempat ni saya selalu pergi untuk dapatkan simulation. The simulation can be even downloaded kepada local. Dan saya boleh run simulation tu kat dalam komputer saya without having access to the internet. Saya totally lupa nama tempat saya cari simulation tersebut. Sekejap lagi kalau saya teringat saya beritahu. Okay, simulation. Ada lagi tak? Simulation ni biasanya adalah yang kita boleh manipulate angka, kita boleh gerak-gerakkan dia. Lepas tu and then kita boleh tengok apa outcome dia daripada bila kita manipulate angka-angka. Macam tu lah. Itu yang simulation tu. Saya tak ingat lah tempat dia apa Nanti saya cari. Free simulation, open source simulation memang boleh download dan boleh run tanpa internet connection dekat kita punya local computer. Nanti saya cari. Okay, ada soalan lain?
Doktor, simulation tu untuk finance subjek ada tak?
Saya tak ingat, saya jarang cari dalam finance subject. Nanti saya cari sekejap lagi ada dalam nota saya senarai simulation tu, senarai website for simulation tu. I'm not sure whether it is ada finance related atau tidak. But the thing is that kalau whatever we want to cari, kita can always cari from Google. Okay? The only thing is that we have to check. Bila kita dah cari kat Google tu, bila kita jumpa, kita kena tengok lesen dia. Ada lesen ke tak ada lesen? Itu that's the thing that I want to highlight lah. When you do your Google searching, have in mind benda yang kita nak ambil ni, lesen dia jenis apa. Kalau kita nak cari simulation kan, I don't know, simulation, saya ikut lah kalau keluar. FAT, FAT simulation. Ni yang saya selalu pergi. Kalau FAT simulation ini, if I want to download an interactive simulation, but this is usually for STEM related, technology or engineering punya related. Contoh kan, macam kalau dekat chemistry ni, dia ada, kita boleh tengoklah macam ni. Contoh, macam ni kan, acid base solution ni, kita boleh manipulate dia punya, sebab kita boleh download, sebab dia memang allow kita download. Lesen dia kat mana saya tengok. Okay, so you can download this one. Bila kita download and then kita boleh play locally dekat dalam kita punya komputer without having to do that simulation kat sini lah. Contoh, ni tengok dia punya credits dia kata apa. Tak ada. License, tak ada. Sekejap. About. Okay, dia ada PDF dia, okay. Hold on. Bila saya buka daripada local saya, ni daripada local lah, saya dah download daripada Nurbiha Downloads ni. So kita boleh simulate lah macam ni. Nak tunjukkan graph ke, nak pakai strong acid ke, weak acid ke, nak tunjukkan molecules ke, pergerakan molecules. So nak test guna litmus paper ke, nak tengok conductivity of electricity. So this can be done locally. FAT simulation is a great way untuk cari open source punya simulation. But maybe it doesn't cater to macam yang doktor cakap tadi lah, in finance, things like that. So this is mostly tempat untuk related to science. Kalau mana saya daripada FAT simulation. So that's the thing I said just now. When you can always Google, bukan saya jumpa tadi guna Google. Okay, but you have to check. Kita kena ada kesedaran untuk check lah before I use this one. Do they allow me to download that, or do I need permission to do that? Sekejap, kita pergi kat Google tadi. Okay, kalau kita nak search open source learning simulation pun boleh. It's a matter of checking whether dia adalah open source ataupun tidak. Yang ini macam ada ni, I want to study.org, somehow nampak macam open source. So open source simulation framework. So I know this is an article maybe. So kita kena ada decency untuk tengoklah dulu. Macam ni kan, written by siapa, published by siapa. Boleh tengok, kena tengok lesen dia lah. Biasanya when they allow us to download, ada button download, biasanya dia memang nak bagi. Macam tu. Okay. So this is also
Dr. Biha. Assalamualaikum Dr. Biha. Menariklah yang simulation punya open resource tadi tu. Cuma saya nak tanya, macam tadi kan contoh tadi Dr. Biha boleh download dia dan boleh dia punya numbers apa semua tu kan, dia punya variable. But then boleh tak kalau remake dia, maksudnya contoh macam bila kita tukar the numbers apa semua tu, kita nak convert dia jadi video ke apa kan, untuk kita share pula. Kalau yang macam tu boleh ke? Ataupun dia mesti kita share dalam bentuk dia yang asal?
Kita kalau contohlah macam kita dah buat kita punya simulation tu tadi, lepas tu kita nak video recordkan dia macam ni kan, kita nak ubah dia punya like concentration, I don't know, lepas tu kita nak recordkan macam tu ke?
Ya.
What you mean? Okay. Yang ini kita kena tengok balik dekat lesen yang tempat kita download tu tadi, apa yang dia allow. Apa yang dia allow kita buat dengan dia punya simulation. Macam tu. Sebab kalau dia kata CCBY-ND, maksudnya kita tak boleh derive dia dalam bentuk lain. Kalau dia CCBY-SA, tak ada masalah lah. Kita boleh recordkan dia sebagai video. But usually dekat FAT ni kebanyakannya dia tak ada ND. Dia biasanya CCBY SA sahaja ataupun CCBY. You have to give attribution.
Okay, so maksudnya kalau CCBY SA, kita boleh remix dia, kita boleh convert dia kepada bentuk video, but we have to put that attribution again, right?
Bagi attribution, yes, correct.
Okay, alright. Okay, thank you.
Okay, alright. Ada sikit lagi tadi saya nak share. Okay. So tadi kita dah pergi kepada video punya cari, okay. Okay, anda boleh filter juga, you can do filtering, okay. Sebab kalau baca dekat YouTube videos punya disclaimer ni adalah, by marking your original video with a common creative license, you are granting the entire YouTube community the right to reuse and edit that video. Itu maksudnya. Tapi tadi yang video yang kita tengok contoh tadi, they just said that reuse is allowed. Dia tak cakap bahawa dia boleh edit. So walaupun dia kata sebagai Creative Commons, dia adalah kita boleh reuse sahajalah. Okay. Now okay, you boleh filterkan, you can go to search, filter, and you search, boleh tikkan button Creative Commons pun boleh juga. Cara saya tadi, saya just cari dan biasanya dia akan keluar kat bawah ni lah. License dia apa? Creative Commons Attribution License, reuse is allowed. Okay. Right. And then bila filter tu, tikkan yang ni, features dia ni. Features yang Creative Commons dekat the very right corner ni. Okay. Kita boleh filterkan. Ni tadi Wikimedia Commons, as I said, Wikimedia Commons you boleh cari images, you boleh cari videos juga, boleh cari audio. Okay. Ini saya tunjukkan contoh. This is an example that I show you. CC dia bukan CCBY, tapi CC0. Nombor 0 kat situ, kat tepi ni. Gini. CC0. CC0 means it is public domain. You do not have to give attribution. You can sell it, you can do whatever you want because it is public domain. It doesn't have any copyright, satu. It doesn't have any common creative license pun tidak. Okay, so you can do whatever you want with gambar ini because it is CC0. Okay, so this is different than, it is not different than common creative, dia tak ada CC lah, 0. Okay, dia tak payah bagi attribution pun. Right? So you can also use Creative Commons search, creativecommons.org, and then pakai tool search. Dia akan searchkan daripada, they will search for you from this repository. Dia akan carikan daripada Google, and then you can click here whether you want to search for commercial purposes ataupun you do not want to search for commercial purposes. Anda bukan nak jual pun bahan tu, tapi you just want to look for resources that you can modify, you can adapt, or you can build upon. So you can tick on that. And then they can filter out all the related resources for you. Okay, pergi kat creativecommons.org pun boleh juga. And then you go to search, and then they can search that for you. Okay, right. Now we go to giving attribution. Sometimes if you didn't go to, for example, kalau kita tengok, if we just now we went to Creative Commons, we went to Wikimedia Commons tadi, dia bagi siap-siap attribution yang kita boleh copy paste, kita boleh tampal. Okay, but in certain cases macam dekat Pixabay ataupun kat Pexels, kadang-kadang dia ada Creative Commons license, but they don't sediakan siap-siap apa attribution yang kita boleh copy paste. So how can you write one? So this is the way how can you write one. First, you put the title and then you hyperlink kan your digital content tu daripada original link yang kita dapat, and then the name of the author. Okay, kat sini contohnya name of the author adalah Tibol. Okay, and tuliskan dia punya license dia. Now, license ni, Common Creative License ni, dia ada certain version lah. Sekarang ni dia dah version CC license version 4.0. Okay, ada yang gambar lama-lama tu version dia, CC license dia 2.0. So you just put there, dia gazetkan sebagai CC license 2.0 ke 4.0 ke, biasanya you boleh tengok kat situ. Okay, so the recent ones is CC 4.0. Kalau nak tanya apa beza, there are certain beza, tetapi it's more about dia punya detailings of BY tu ada tambah-tambah ayat sikit, so the different versions, but it still means the same. BY still means that you have to give attribution, SA still means that you have to share alike, ND pun still means that you cannot derive that into something else. So cuma version of license tu saja yang berbeza. Okay, so this is the way how can you give attribution kepada materials, kepada digital content that you have downloaded. Okay, now when we have all of these resources, now we go to the question, how do I know which one has the up to my standard quality? Of course, you as a content expert, you know which materials are of high quality to you. So I just have some guidelines kalau you all want to evaluate yang ini okay ke digital content macam ni, is it good enough? Okay, now there are many rubrics. If you want to use rubric lah, rajin nak tengok kan checklist, okay ni satu gambar ni digital content ni, evaluate, oh dia ada ciri-ciri ni, tak ada ciri-ciri ni, tak ada ciri, you can use rubric to do that, to evaluate that. But I just share with you here the general rule lah, kalau general principles that you want to hold on to whenever you come across a digital content. So you look at, number one, you look at the content quality. Ada salah eja ke, betul ke gambar ni, is it supposed to look like this? Okay, so look at the overall content quality. Okay, gambarnya terang ke tidak, lepas tu is it too fast, kalau video is it too fast, so in terms of content lah, so you can assess that easily. Dari segi accessibility, if you want to, for example, share a textbook with your student, okay, how difficult would it be for your student to access that textbook? Dia kena login ke, dia kena create account ke? Okay, so the best way would be they can have direct access to the textbook dengan menggunakan satu link. That would be better lah. Okay, the accessibility of it, which means that it is entirely open, tak payah nak login, tak payah nak create account and so on. Okay, and the next thing that you want to look at it is license. Okay, how open is that material that you want to use? Yang the good ones would be, of course, dia adalah CC0 lah. Attribution pun tak payah bagi in case kita terlupa nak bagi attribution. So maybe the ones that you want to avoid is CC, BYND. Okay, yang kena bagi attribution and tak boleh derive. Sebab we never know katakanlah kita dah first time kita guna gambar tu, kita ingatlah benda ni adalah CC BYND. So the next time maybe we want to remix kita nak guna balik semula, kita takut kita pun terlupa bahawa benda ni adalah ND, and then we cannot derive that into something else. So it's good that you can remember, tapi I would advise kalau nak guna yang CC tu, cari yang CC BY which is very loose. We just have to give attribution only. Okay? So those are the principles that you want to hold on to, the three main principles if you want to evaluate the quality of an OER. I would not say that if you can have any additional principles that if you want to look out for OER, so you can use all the other rubrics kat bawah ni. Dia boleh rate kan kalau markah for every ciri-ciri tu certain ni, and then it reach a certain quality. Kalau rajin boleh lah Okay, now we are done with searching for OER. Now it is time for you kalau if you want to create pula digital content. So it is not within the scope of the initial talk that I was asked to, but maybe I just share with all of you here. How can you create, curate digital content menggunakan open source software juga? Tak ada software yang kena beli. It is an open source software. Okay, for digital content. So, like I said just now, kalau if you want to curate a slide ataupun presentation ataupun notes, kalau software berbayar, you pakai Microsoft Office lah. Kalau software yang percuma, you all pakai LibreOffice. Okay, but I focus here on if you want to curate multimedia punya digital content. Macam nak curate grafik ke, nak kena pakai Photoshop mahal. Okay, tak ada yang percuma ke? Ada. Okay, if you want to create audio, nak rakam suara, nak rakam audio, this is about not sharing resources, this is about creating resources. Okay, so nak rakam audio sendiri, nak pakai SoundForge ke? SoundForge mahal. Okay, so pakai yang percuma. Ada ke yang percuma? Ada. Okay, the same thing goes to video. If you want to create video, if you want to edit video, kalau yang mahal pakai Adobe Premiere, Final Cut Pro ke, tapi itu mahal beribu-ribu. So ada ke yang percuma? Ada juga. Okay, so these are all open source punya software that you can use to curate your digital content. Kalau macam animation, you boleh pakai 3D animation, boleh pakai Blender, it is an open source punya software. Synfig punya studio, ini kalau nak create animation yang 2D, you can use Synfig, 2D pun ada. Okay, so these are some of the software that you can download, install for free, and then you can start curating your own digital content. Kalau grafik, you can use Inkscape. Inkscape dia saya pernah guna Inkscape dengan Krita I think. Pun boleh if you want to edit photos, if you want to draw, boleh pakai Inkscape or Krita. If you want to edit audio, you can go to Audacity. Audacity saya selalu guna, ada saya tak pernah guna. Video, if you want to edit video, you can install OpenShot. This is OpenShot, dia punya OpenShot yang ini. OpenShot dia punya learning curve dia agak rendah sebab tak berapa susah sangat nak guna OpenShot ni. Shortcut saya tak pernah guna. OBS, if you want to do live streaming, selalunya orang pakai StreamYard kan, tapi kita boleh juga guna OBS percuma. StreamYard kena bayar. Kalau you nak record screen recording menggunakan green screen, you can use OBS percuma. Okay, so you tak payah guna green screen, pakai yang berbayar pun ada, tapi the free ones is OBS. Okay, tapi kadang-kadang dia punya cerita, the thing with the open source software ni, dia punya interface dia tak adalah cantik sangat. So kadang-kadang dia punya interface dia punya tu very plain lah, dia punya button-button dia tu is very plain because it is developed in collaboration with many other software engineer. Diorang bersama-sama develop that together. That is what usually happen dekat dalam OpenShot ni. Kadang-kadang if you are a software engineer and then you kata bahawa saya nak tambah lah satu lagi feature kat dalam OpenShot punya software ni. You can always do that. supaya and then people can have more benefits. Sama macam gambar tadi, images tadi saya kata bahawa someone ambil gambar yang sama, dia translatekan dalam bahasa Mandarin, dia translatekan dalam bahasa in Russian, dia translatekan dalam bahasa Indonesia. So you can always remix that and then contribute that again to the community. Okay, macam animation, sama juga, these are the software, Blender, Cinefix Studio dengan TopiTube. So you can use this software to create your own digital content. Ini adalah yang open source punya, yang percuma punya, you can download that. Okay, and I highly recommend if you are a lecturer dekat in somehow lah in when you are teaching, you ask your students to create something, any digital multimedia content ke, encourage them untuk menggunakan open source punya software ni, rather than asking them, especially kan sekarang ni kita when we are in lockdown, pelajar pun, students do not have access to the lab, multimedia lab for example, jadi dia tak boleh guna software yang universiti kita subscribe macam Photoshop ke, Adobe Premiere ke, Illustrator ke. They cannot go to this software are very it's very pricey, sangat mahal, it's very expensive. Jadi encourage them to use alternative yang open source punya software ni. It is as good as the paid ones. Okay, right. Yes, tak ada lagi, itu saja. Thank you very much. So I would like to invite any questions kalau ada. Do you have question?
Doktor, Assalamualaikum. Sorry.
Salam.
Could you please share with us your email address so that we can contact you?
Oh, okay. I read that in my chat box.
Okay, ada soalan lain?
You all takut nak tanya. You orang tanya, doktor saya punya ni, ini ada copyright ke, tak ada macam tu ke? Is that what?
Tak ada
Is that those kind of things that you wanted to ask?
No, after this lah aku ada question apa-apa aku nak boleh contact doktor.
Boleh, sure. Kadang-kadang kalau macam
not only me, my friends as well, dia pun nak juga,
sure.
so that we can
okay, what I would suggest kan, you all kan, bila you all when you go back, tak ada go back lah, later on, check your PowerPoint slide. You can start small by checking your own PowerPoint slide, lepas tu tengok dan reflect pada diri, banyak gambar dalam ni yang tak tahu mana datang. So you can start by doing that lah, because nowadays we never know when our slide can go over the internet, is all over the internet. Lepas tu datanglah someone knocking on your door, ni macam gambar saya ni, mana, bila masa you minta permission untuk guna gambar saya ni. So although maybe right now we restrict our PowerPoint slides to our students only, but our students are passing all these notes and examination questions, in fact, all over the internet. So we never know when our notes, our materials is available out there, and then we never know the images ataupun the text, in fact, apa tu, buat nota daripada buku-buku teks yang berbayar ni, ambil sikit daripada slide daripada buku teks yang kita beli tu, itu pun tak boleh juga. Tapi itu macam dah plagiat lah kan. Okay, but there is different thing lah. So but check again whether it is apa tu daripada open source ataupun tidak. Yang ini okay, if you ask me, there is also one easy way if you want to embed your images daripada PowerPoint presentation. If you look at this one, this is an image that I use. Kalau saya nampak tak tepi ni, saya ada tulis, this photo by unknown author is licensed under CC BY NCSA. Yang ini gambar ni, saya ambil terus insert terus daripada PowerPoint. So macam mana cara dia? I go to insert, I go to pictures, I go to online pictures. Okay. And I go to online learning. Search online learning. Tepi ni. Tekan enter. Nampak tak? Kita boleh klik Creative Commons only. This Creative Commons only means that they will filter mana-mana yang yang Creative Commons sahajalah. Kalau kita antik yang ini, dia akan keluar macam-macam yang even ada copyright pun. So if we tick this one, kita boleh gambar lah. Okay, katakanlah saya nak ambil gambar yang ini. Okay, I insert. Okay. When I click on insert, they will automatically tuliskan siap-siap attribution. Nampak tu, this photo is by an author is licensed under apa benda. Tapi dia punya dia link dia ada kat sini lah ni, original author. So I can just directly use that one, like this one. Macam ni, akan ada nama dia siap-siap. Ni kecil ni nama dia. Okay. So I use this method as well. Kalau I nak guna, if I want to look for images, nak masukkan kat dalam PowerPoint presentation, tak adalah payah-payah I nak go to Google Images. So I just go to insert and online pictures lah. Tapi but you have to be connected to internet connection lah to search for online pictures, and then make sure the Creative Commons is being ticked whenever you want to apa tu nama dia, you want to insert daripada PowerPoint ni. Okay. Okay, saya akan share ni, this slide. I will share this slide with the secretariat just now. And then please feel free to use this slide. Dah gazetkan dia bawah CCSA. The thing is that if you ask me, macam mana doktor saya nak buat juga OER nota saya tu, saya nak gazetkan bawah CC. How can you use that? Okay, you can nak minta kebenaran sesiapa ke? Jawapannya tak ada. Jawapannya tak ada minta kebenaran sesiapa. You just have to make sure that all of your materials in your slide is free from copyright. Itu nombor satu. Contohnya gambar ni bukan sesiapa punya. Ataupun kalau dia bukan daripada, kalau dia ada someone else punya, you have declare that. Macam ni saya guna gambar ni daripada Giulia Fosse. Saya dah declare kat sini source mana saya nak ambil. Ini gambar saya sendiri, ini gambar saya sendiri. Okay, jadi macam mana nak letak logo tu doktor? Logo apa tu nak pilih? So, you go to generate common creative license. Okay, actually nak copy paste pun boleh. Logo tadi tu ambil copy paste dia pun boleh juga. Tapi if you're not sure nak pakai lesen yang mana, so go to this one, create and choose a license dekat Creative Commons. Okay, they will guide you by answering some question. Contoh, kita jawab soalan kat tepi ni dan nanti dia akan keluar kat tepi ni. Okay, contoh, do you want to allow adaptation of your work to be shared? Katakanlah yes. Okay, ataupun yes as long as the others share alike. Okay, do you want to allow commercial users of your work? Katakanlah yes. Kalau no, dia akan keluar lain. Okay, katakanlah no. So, and then dah dapatlah, inilah license kita, CC BY, NC-SA, non-commercialized. So kita bolehlah ambil itu and then kita boleh save saja yang ini. So saya copy je yang ini. Kalau saya nak embed dekat website saya ambil logo ni, saya embed dekat website saya. So this is how I generate logo tu tadilah. And I am aware when I have this CC BY NC-SA, this means that orang kena share alike dan orang tak boleh jual saya punya slides contohnya. So you can just use this and put that on your slide. Apa beza dia again? Kalau saya tak ada logo CCTBY ni, contoh dekat slide saya, tak ada, ni semua tak ada. Orang akan kena minta permission daripada saya lah untuk guna slide saya. Sepatutnya lah orang yang ada kesedaran lah. They should, because as I said just now, the default assumption is that all of the materials all over the internet is copyrighted walaupun tak ada logo copyright dekat slide ni. So people should assume that this is copyrighted. So kalau tak ada logo ni, orang kena minta permission saya bila dia nak guna slide ni. Which is saya tak nak deal dengan benda-benda tu. You nak guna, you ambil je, tak payah nak tanya saya. As long as you give attribution and you not sell it. Okay, so this is how you can generate one lah if you are interested in putting this common creative punya license dekat you punya notes. Make sure nota tu memang dah bersih daripada bahan-bahan orang lain. Kalau ada bahan orang lain, you have give the appropriate attribution to that and then you can share that again. Okay, so yeah. Okay, do we have any other question?
Dr. Biha, satu lagi saya nak tanya. Kita ada banyak yang tadi Dr. Biha share, banyak daripada luar, Pexo, Pizza. Untuk local content, Dr. Biha tahu tak ada usaha ke ataupun kita boleh akses? Sebab kebanyakannya biasanya kan Dr. Biha kan untuk pengajaran memang ada banyak slide tapi dia tak relate dengan kita punya syllabus, dengan pengajaran kita. So kita nak cari yang local content kalau ada.
Okay. Kalau macam local content, macam saya kata tadi, local universities they have, they also, Malaysia also pledge for Paris Declaration to provide OER ni. Kalau macam contoh, saya bagi contoh UTM ada UTM Open Courseware. Kat sini boleh cari nota-nota daripada local professors. Contoh, ni Datuk Zaini Ujang punya slide, boleh download. Okay, boleh download kat sini pun boleh. Tak silap saya pun ada, UMS pun ada. You can type OCW and that nama university. Biasanya mereka provide lah, kebanyakan most universities provide. Kalau and also you can go to OER consortium tadi yang saya kata, and then you can click Malaysia, the Open Education Consortium, and then you can click Malaysia. And then you boleh tengoklah bahan-bahan daripada Malaysia. Macam tu. Pun boleh juga. Ni resources kan. Find OERs. Okay, as a student, what action should we take? Should you take if you want to use the content from YouTube? If you want to use the content for YouTube, boleh, you can just take, because you can just share that one. Pakai link pun boleh. Jangan pula you mix that content. Okay, edit sikit video YouTube ni nak masukkan content sendiri. Itu tak boleh. You can do that if you gain the permission from the originator. Itu je. You can always do the 5R activity. Remix lah, redistribute lah. Kalau dapat permission daripada content owner, you can do that. You can always do that. Kalau dia punya originator tu bagi. Itu je lah. So, tapi kalau kita ni tak nak bersusah payah pergi tanya originator, tapi kita nak terus guna sahaja, you cannot do that. So, that's the thing lah. Okay. So, I hope that answer your question. Perasan? Okay. We can always ask, we can always do things with YouTube videos, provided that we gain permission daripada owner. Itu je. Anything that we want to do, boleh. Dapat permission, kita boleh buat. Kalau dia kata kita boleh buat, kita boleh buat. Macam tu. Okay. Alright. Do we have any other question?
Okay, ada soalan lain?
Dr. Nobiha.
Assalamualaikum.
Nak tanya sikit, kalau katalah untuk macam Canva Pro version sebagainya, kita boleh download semua material ataupun even kita boleh buat slide dalam tu semua. Ada limitation tak dari segi jenis macam ni, ada license ni, kita dah bayar. Dia masih ada restriction
kalau yang dah bayar,
untuk penggunaan?
Yang dah bayar tak ada masalah. No, tak ada masalah. Kalau boleh yang itulah macam yes, kalau macam stock photos that we have that we have bought kan, itu tak ada masalah.
Tak ada masalah Maksudnya kita boleh guna lah untuk release kat YouTube, tak ada masalah lah.
Tak ada masalah. Kita yang dah beli, in fact audio pun sama, video pun sama. Macam soundtrack tu kita dah beli kan. Kita boleh beli. Kita boleh guna for any purposes that we want. Okay, any other question? Salam.
Dr. Sajalah just nak respon pada yang tadi Dr. Rosli bagi tahu tu kan. Sebab saya pun ada guna Canva. And I think betul lah macam Canva tu, kalau kita dapat license dia memang ada storage apa semua audio. Cuma saya realise ada juga kadang-kadang especially audio dia lah yang bila kita upload ke YouTube macam copyrighted juga. So kadang kena be very careful jugalah. Sebab tak tahu, saya pun tak pasti.
Ya. Kadang-kadang dia sediakan repository tu. Tetapi when we use that repository tu, kita kena semak balik semula audio tu. Ataupun any images yang dia propose tu lah. Macam tu. Biasanya dia kena, biasanya kalau yang macam tempat-tempat kita create something ni, macam itulah tadi macam Canva kan, PictoChat ke, bila kita ambil gambar tu, dia tak declare macam yang dekat PowerPoint ni. PowerPoint ni tadi,
dia tak ada attribution tu.
dia ada button untuk kita tick dengan untick command creative. Jadi bila you search images through Canva tu, contohnya nak insert daripada Canva tu, be careful about the images, the source of the images. Itu je lah.
Cuma kalau Canva tu kalau kita baca dekat dia punya free license agreement tu, memang dia kata kalau it's a free source daripada the grafik apa semua tu kita boleh gunalah freely for even for commercial purposes. But then we have to take extra precaution macam especially for the audio tu.
Tapi itu yang dia kata free tu adalah macam ni, bila kita nak create text box, kan dia ada macam-macam jenis text box, bila kita nak create macam shape, bila nak guna icon, itu yang percuma, itu yang macam ni, macam icon kat dalam PowerPoint ni, kan? Macam-macam icon. Itu yang percuma sebenarnya, macam ni kan, icon-icon ni, that is bagi kita images lah, dia adalah icon. Tapi ini yang kat dalam Canva kata percuma ambil lah, tapi dan kita ada certain, rasanya ada juga icon dekat dalam Canva tu yang berbayar kan. Tapi the ones that free ni maksudnya you can even use that for commercial punya purposes. Itu maksud dia lah. Ada yang berbayar tu memang kena bayar lah. Okay, Doktor, is there any legal issues kalau guna lagu orang lain as background music? Memang ada legal issues. I'm telling you, I'm sharing with you one experience. Kami nak buat video for teaching and learning. Biasanya kadang-kadang teaching and learning ni dia ada klausa bahawa for educational purposes dia boleh jadi percuma. Ada kadang-kadang ada klausa macam tu lah. Kadang-kadang orang declare if you want to use this for teaching and learning for education purposes, kita akan bagi you percuma. Tapi kalau if you want to use that for education for commercial punya reasons, kita tak bagi percuma. The thing is that when we want to create this video, teaching and learning video, kita nak create elemen macam tu, macam elemen Kesultanan Melaka macam tu. So we take tak silapnya about 3 second of suara Siti Nurhaliza nyanyi lagu satu lagu kurik kundi kot tak silap saya, lagu tradisional lah. Okay, and then we upload that. This is long time ago. Masa tu YouTube dia takkan prompt lagi kalau video tu ada infringe any copyright. So kita upload. And then SRC yang contact UTM, Studio Records yang contact UTM dan kata bahawa they found that our videos ini ada klip suara Siti Nurhaliza selama 3 saat. And they demand an explanation and they give two option whether we take down the clip ataupun kita bayar. Although we explain that bahawa this is for educational purposes, dia kata memang for educational purposes dia ada rate yang berbeza untuk educational purposes. Tapi ceritanya still kena bayar lah. So that would be my answer. So kalau dia benarkan, the thing is that kalau orang tu benarkan dan dia tahu what we are going to do with dia punya audio tu, tak ada masalah. Kalau dia tak tahu dan kalau dia tak tahu, itu menjadi masalah. If your question is there any legal issues kalau guna lagu orang lain as background music, jawapannya ya and tidak. Dia tak ada isu kalau orang tu tahu. Dia ada isu kalau orang tu tak tahu. That will be my answer. Okay. Tapi kalau lagu tu adalah lagu yang digazette sebagai common creative dan dia memang declare you can reuse that for any purposes, then tak ada masalah legal issues lah. Okay, because dia kata ni adalah common creative license. Okay.
Assalamualaikum Doktor.
Ada few question in chat.
Ya.
Saya selalu nak tanya.
Ya nak tanya. Tanya dulu, nanti saya baca.
Tadi Doktor ada cerita pasal yang lagu tu kan kita gunakan untuk kalau satu material tu macam saya di pihak organizer ada saya punya speaker ataupun ni gunakan material dan material tu macam Siti Nurhaliza kita tahulah benda tu dah well known kan, kata tu lagu dia semua. Ini dia datang dia claim kata ada parti lain datang dia claim kata speaker saya dah guna dia punya material dia punya slide macam tu. So kita di pihak speaker ni Doktor ada macam tips lah macam mana kita nak check atau kita nak sahkan dan sebagainya. Terima kasih.
Okay. Kalau untuk cerita pasal teks ni, kita memang senang nak analyse, kita run je turn it in. Kalau teks. Kalau macam images ni, unless stated macam ni kan, unless stated macam ni, macam ni saya tulis ni, foto ni, memang kita kena semak. Memang kita kena semak mana gambar datang ni. Gambar ni datang dari mana. The other day, I think last week, kita ada isu, ada pensyarah ni, dia buat nota, dia ni dulu kerja dengan Petronas. Dia buat nota and then dia share kat dalam dia punya kelas, some of the document ataupun gambar-gambar tu macam timeline, dia not really critical pun, macam timeline, contoh-contoh platform. Dia share kat dalam kelas dia for students dia to have better understanding about what the platform looks like. Tetapi again, itulah saya kata dia tak mendapat consent daripada this company untuk share, which is not right actually sebenarnya. Tak boleh sebenarnya untuk kita share tanpa minta kebenaran. So the answer to your question is we have to check. Memang tak ada cara lain, memang kena semak. Ataupun masa awal-awal you jemput speaker, any speakers, you have to tell them, they have to sign a agreement saying that all the materials being shared has been declared owned by the speaker and does not owned by someone else unless stated. Boleh minta dia sign agreement macam tu lah kepada speaker-speaker ni bila dia share dia punya notes ni ataupun dia punya slides and things like that. So have them sign that agreement and have them you can state that if they share anything that they don't declare as theirs, you can say that you do not have the you takkan responsible if the slides is being distributed to public dan someone tiba-tiba datang claim, so you maybe wants to have the right to ignore to direct that cases to the speaker themselves rather than mungkin kita ni jadi tukang penyebar sebab speaker macam saya bagi nota lah kepada UUM, ini nota saya, lepas tu saya kata tapi nota saya tak declare pun nota saya ni komunikatif ke tak ke, tapi you all share-kan kepada staff-staff UUM. Lepas tu you all share-kan, lepas tu sampailah tiba kepada someone yang menjumpa kata ini gambar dalam slide ni gambar saya. Okay, lepas tu yang orang tu pula dia nak pergi saman UUM sebab menyebarkan slide tu. Okay, dia tak pergi kepada saya yang original, yang pembuatnya. Okay, so you might want to make that clear at your legal office. I think it's a good practice sebenarnya kat legal office semua UUM ni ada satu agreement kat situ yang sign, speaker sign bahawa they declare all the content yang dia share is originally theirs unless stated otherwise. Macam tu. Kena letak disclaimer kalau nak selamat. Okay, sebab kita organizer kita pun tak tahu kan. So they have to declare that. Okay, sama kalau kita buat pertandingan mencipta video ni. Saya kadang-kadang risau juga tengok universiti yang buat pertandingan mencipta video ni. Pertandingan mencipta video, konten dalam video tu datang daripada macam-macam sources. So if you want to have a competition video, even among your students, make known that sebab video tu biasanya share dekat YouTube. Make known that they agree or they declare that all the materials yang dia guna dekat dalam video tu telah dia dapat pun consent daripada originatornya. Macam tu. Okay. Do I know any repository contain business cases? Yang selalu ni kalau yang popular pasal business cases ni contoh macam Harvard Business School kan, dia ada come up dengan apa nama Harvard Business Cases tu. Tapi kalau open repository I'm not sure. Bukan yang itulah dalam background tu. Tapi you can browse through. I'm not sure whether Harvard ada macam open courseware juga macam MIT ke tidak. MIT ni memang ada satu branch ni yang memang dia akan collect all these resources, semua nota-nota tu, even daripada yang dulu-dulu punya video for teaching and learning, dulu-dulu punya nota punya semester pun dia compilekan kat situ. So recent punya professors pun ada, the very old school yang lama punya professors pun ada punya material. Yang itu ada. Cuba tengok dekat as I said, the easiest thing to do adalah of course lah pakai Google search. Pakai Google search, cari and then semak dia punya license. That's the easiest way. Kadang-kadang specific repository ni kita tak tahu. Kan, unless macam I state just now, macam list-list ni kan, because I'm familiar with macam list-list ni. Okay, tapi kadang-kadang kita nak search daripada Google lah, yang senang. Tapi kena semak. Dia dah jumpa Google, semak dia punya license. Itu je lah.
Doktor, ada satu lagi daripada Dr.
Ya.
Aini ya. Does it mean that it is advised to write CC on all our slides and teaching materials? Okay, back pada soalan ni, saya cuma nak bertanya. Di practice di UTM, adakah dia punya specific policy yang pertama tentang yang Creative Commons tadi? Okay, yang kedua ialah tadi ada doktor sebut tentang is a consent form, audio video. Ada tak di UTM benda yang sama tu? Ada tak specific policy ataupun garis panduan sebagainya? Mungkin boleh share sikit. Terima kasih.
Okay, untuk open educational resources ni, macam ini, macam UTM UCW ni, yang ini kita memang minta pensyarah untuk sign dia punya consent form bahawa dia agree bahawa semua material yang di share dekat sini adalah open source. Dan kita memang bagi template siap-siap dan semua notes kat sini kita ranting in. Supaya untuk simak, it doesn't belong to anyone else. Gambar-gambar pun in fact. Jadi at UTM we only have that kind of disclaimer untuk UTM open courseware resources only. Kalau nota-nota pensyarah ni yang they use that from day to day, kita memang tak ada, kita memang tak cakap bahawa you have to put common creative dekat you punya notes. And then, but we did educate them where to get gambar-gambar yang open source. But we did not make it compulsory for them untuk declare mereka punya teaching and learning material sebagai common creative. If you ask me, what would be the best practices to do? Okay, kalau anda yakin the notes that you share is originally yours and you have declared you tak ambil daripada mana-mana textbook, tak ambil daripada slide-slide free yang dalam CD yang datang dengan textbook tu, you tak copy paste. So I would advise you to declare that as common creative untuk menambahkan resources teaching material out there kepada whoever who wants to learn. Okay, jadi menggalakkan orang untuk guna kita punya material dan tanpa perlu minta kebenaran kita lah. So I would highly advise you to do that. If you are very confident bahawa memang saya buat ni from scratch and it is mine. Yang baiknya macam itulah declare kita punya teaching slide sebagai common creative. Tapi kadang as I said, dia bila kita belajar online, entirely online ni because of pandemic ni, dia tersebar tu lagi cepat. We upload that to so many platforms. Berbanding dengan bila kita belajar traditionally, kita buka slide tu kat dalam kelas sahaja. Maybe kan, dan bila kita buka slide tu kat dalam kelas, kita mungkin ada gambar tu yang kita tunjukkan kepada student kita, tetapi gambar tu copyrighted. Tapi slide tu nanti bila kita bagi pada student kita buang gambar yang copyrighted tu. But we just by right sebenarnya memang tak boleh pun buat macam tu tanpa kebenaran. Tapi maybe lah for the sake of we want to teach them and it is in a very close punya condition and environment, maybe it is safe for you to do that. Tapi kalau sekarang ni yang mengajar online and dengan slides ni boleh tersebar di mana-mana, I would highly advise semua slides itu dibersihkan dan bila dah dibersihkan tu, bila you yakin dah bersih, and then you bolehlah letak common creative license kat situ. That would be my advice lah. Digalakkan untuk letak CC if you are clear that semua material tu adalah yours.
Okay, Cik Anzari daripada UM Press. Saya rasa Cik Anzari better clarify kot rather than saya rasa saya faham maksud tu. Cuma boleh clarify sikit tak?
Okay, menerbitkan e-book bagi tujuan. Silakan.
Assalamualaikum tuan. Sini kami ada terbitkan e-book. Dalam e-book tu sebagai bahan tambahan untuk pengajaran, dia letakkan pautan link YouTube tu. Jadi adakah dia boleh atau tak, ataupun boleh maksudnya kami just letak link saja dengan letakkan sumber, ataupun kami perlu meminta izin daripada pemilik asal content creator tu.
The thing is that kalau nak buat macam ni kan, dan buku tu nanti, e-book tu nanti menjadi ialah dijual kan. It's good that sebenarnya kita check dulu YouTube link tu adakah common creative ataupun tidak. Itu satu. And then memang kena semak lah. I would say because you are generating income from that kan. Mungkin orang kata bahawa dia senaraikan link-link yang bagus lah, sebab tu saya nak beli buku ni. Macam tu. So that is the links that have been provided that somehow help to boost up your sale. So itu for me memang kena minta memang kena minta kebenaran. Unless dia memang kata link-link yang di-sharekan tu adalah Common Creative License punya links.
Okay, terima kasih Ada.
Okay, ada soalan lain? Doktor, saya ada satu soalan lagi. Apa ni, mostly kalau kita tengok the quality of the content that are royalty free, mostly the quality is not so good lah basically, ataupun just a basic images or sound sahaja. Dekat mana yang ada repository yang ada a good quality, so that for example if you want to create our own YouTube channel yang sama macam ML Studio for example, so that we are safe from IP infringement dan sebagainya. At least a good quality punya content yang kita boleh masukkan dalam satu ni lah YouTube channel. Ada tak?
Saya suka kalau images, saya suka pergi ke Unsplash. Unsplash, they have very good photos. Tapi photos lah, saya banyak kerja dengan images. Unsplash, they have very high resolution punya photos. Dan dia repository dia lebih banyak berbanding dengan macam Pexels dengan Pixabay. Kadang-kadang Pexels dan Pixabay ni dia akan ulang-ulang gambar yang sama yang kita jumpa sahaja. Tapi Unsplash ni somehow kadang-kadang dia ada gambar yang macam kita tak pernah jumpa kat mana-mana website. Tapi gambar ni ada dekat Unsplash. So I would suggest Unsplash for images. Lepas tu kalau video, saya tak pastilah video kat mana, tapi kalau macam audio, itu banyaklah saya rasa audio yang open source itu banyak, macam soundtrack saya, apa yang nama? Audio Cloud, bukan Audio Cloud. Tak ingat saya pula nama apa, tapi macam sound effect ni pun ada juga yang open source. Tapi kalau images, saya suka guna dekat Unsplash lah. Unsplash ada banyak open source images yang high resolution. Dan juga tengok dia punya license dia adalah free. Banyaknya yang free. Dan dia kurang iklan dekat Unsplash ni.
Okay. Alright. So any question from the audience? So far I think it's a very good sharing from Dr. Nurbiha. Ni kena ada satu lagi sesi lain pula ni. Tech Talk pula. On the how to use the software dan sebagainya.
Yes, itu kalau itu lain lah tu, cerita dia panjang.
Yeah, it is very interesting. It is very interesting lah. So any question? Maybe last question?
Dr. Nobiha, I am Olivia from Multimedia University. I have a question to ask, just to echo Dr. Amzari's question just now. If we do a ebook, okay, and then some of the authors actually put a YouTube link, they embed the link kat sana, linking the link, but the ebook is going to be commercialized. So even if we check on the YouTube kan, they put a CC Common Creative, do we still need to get consent from the YouTuber, the person that
Kalau if it stated that it allows us to reuse dengan Common Creative ni, we do not have to ask for consent lah.
I see.
If it did not say that, then we have to ask for consent.
I see. Okay. So even if they say that, then we don't need to ask consent. Cuma we kena look into the license and CC license dia lah, macam CC BY, NC ke NT lah. Have to be careful with that lah. Okay. Thank you very much, Doctor. Yeah.
Welcome. Okay, saya rasa itu saja kot sharing saya.
Okay, thank you Dr. Olivia.
Ada soalan ke tadi?
Doktor, apa? Saya, Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Dr. Ruzina.
Ya, Doktor.
Sajalah nak tanya. Macam daripada doktor punya ni tadi, kalau kata dalam closed system, contohnya kita punya share, kita punya lecture note dalam blank space dan sebagainya, itu macam mana pula doktor?
Blank space tu bukan open.
Bukan open kan?
Blank space tu bukan close. Blank space tu bukan close. Dia adalah somehow open jugalah, tapi kena make sure lah. Blank space tu memang betul-betul restricted for your students only. The issue is that student kita ni they are not aware of the implication of their of them sharing our material. Memang kita close kan, tapi yang tukang membukakannya anak murid kita. They download the slide and then they share the slide. So that is the issue. Kita ni dah tutup lah beria-ya. Okay, so if you remember, I think 4 years back ada isu pasal slide titas. Slide titas yang kata bahawa slide subjek titas yang kata bahawa ada isu racism. And slide itu is being distributed by students. Dan not even by online sebenarnya. Dia distribute guna pendrive. Dia distribute guna pendrive macam kopi-kopi nota. Okay, musim-musim belajar ni kopi nota. And then somehow that slide comes in the hand of a student yang rasa very offended dengan content of the slide sebab it contains the element of racism. Dia claim sebagai ada content element racism lah. So again, this one slide ni dia di-share in a very close punya environment, iaitu dia bagi pada student pun bukan tak bagi online, dia share by pendrive kepada budak. Nah ni nota, ambil kopi. But it happens that it becomes a very big issue dekat KPT masa tu about the content of the slide that contains elements of racism. So these are the things lah saya kata. Kita memang kata bahawa kita share that in very close environment, tetapi with the current situation right now, you can get our students can even upload our nota without our permission, because they are not aware of the rules and regulation bahawa you tak boleh share without my consent and things like that. Itulah isu dia. So it's best that although in close environment, we make sure that we have declare the materials that we get from someone else. Macam tu. That would be my advice.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, terima kasih semua. Saya ingat itu sahaja for our session today. InsyaAllah for the incoming weeks, you'll probably have more coming in. So stay tuned to our website, in our website, and also we will inform through WhatsApp. So I think that's it. Thank you very much also to Dr. Nurbiha for accepting our invitation to give a talk for today's session. Very informative. I can see that a lot of things that we have learned today, especially on the Creative Commons, and also where is the place that actually we can get free materials or royalty-free materials that are available online. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Inshallah, we will see you guys next time. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Sesi bergambar dulu kot.
Sebelum tu, photo session.
Photo session dulu.
Ya, lupa dah. Please turn on your camera, everybody, please. Okay. Okay, Kofiza, dah okay ke? So today's attendance is about like 100 people today attending the session. Thank you very much all.
Okey, dah ke?
Okey. Okey, sekejap. Senyum semua.
Belum.
Oh, belum lagi.
Okey,
Okey.
I try. One more time. Time's up, please.
Okey. Okay, thank you very much everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, thank you.
Saya
Salam.
emailkan kepada Sekretariat kepada Dr. Faizal dan Dr. Faizal, please disseminate that to participants, okay?
Sure. Can. Thank you very much,
Right.
Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Luhan.
Sama.
Boleh share QR code balik?
Okay, QR code, Afnan, please.
Dan juga tolong isi link untuk sijil Dr. Faizal.
Link, Afnan, ada link tak?
Ada dekat chat.
Ada kat chat. Okay, so link ada kat situ. Nanti kita akan disseminate the slide to the participant lah. Okay, mohon isi Google Form untuk sijil penyertaan. Okay.
Doktor, recording ni akan post tak dekat YouTube ke mana-mana?
Ada, insyaAllah.
YouTube mana
Tapi kita akan minta consent dulu lah daripada Dr. Nurbiha. Once dia kata approve, kita akan bagi ni lah. Kita akan masuk dalam website ICC ya. Nanti check website ICC.
Website ICC. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Dr. Faizal, saya bagi consent.
Oh, okay. Alright. Thank you very much, Dr.
Slide saya pun boleh share, okay.
Okay, thank you. So yang ni CC berapa ni? Consent CC 0 ke?
BYNCSA.
Okay. Alright, terima kasih semua.